so make up your mind. Your vote is needed. Get out there and vote. Get your neighbors to vote. Go to the polls tomorrow. Our best days are yet to come. And now, for the last time in the campaign that I can say it, because I know it drives a certain candidate up the wall, I'm going to say it, and that is, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Mrs. Reagan, and the family.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. I think that's just been arranged. Nancy and I would like to express Seems we did this 4 years ago, and let me just say, well, you know, good habits are hard to break.
I, Ronald Reagan, do solemnly swear.
I, Ronald Reagan, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
Help me God.
So help me God.
My congratulations, sir.
4 years ago, I spoke to you of a new beginning, and we have accomplished that. But in another sense, our new beginning is a continuation of that beginning created 2 centuries ago, when, for the first time in history, government, the people said, was not our master, it is our servant. Its only power, that which we, the people, allow it to have. Let history say of us, these were golden years when the American Revolution was reborn, when freedom gained new life and America reached for her best. It's been a tremendous 4 years, and I'm feeling absolutely bullish on the next 4. I was just thinking the other day that in our first administration, we made history, and in the second, we can change history forever. I think there's an understandable tendency when a second term begins to think that all the great work is behind us, that the big battles have been fought and all the rest is anticlimax. Well, that's not true. What's gone before is prologue. Our greatest battles lie ahead. All is newness now and the possibility of great and fundamental change. We can change America forever. And that's some great and beautiful music we've been playing these past 4 years, but the way I see it, from here on, it's shake, rattle, and roll. Today we've learned of the death of the head of state, Konstantin Chernenko, and I've sent my condolences to the Soviet leadership and people. I want them to know that we will deal with Chairman Chernenko's successor with an open mind, and will continue our efforts to improve relations between our 2 nations, to settle our differences fairly, and particularly to lower the levels of nuclear arms. Tomorrow in Geneva, American negotiators will sit down with their Soviet counterparts to begin the most important arms talks in which our nation is likely to participate for the rest of this decade.
Are you anxious perhaps to meet with the new Soviet leader to get to know him a little bit?
Am I anxious to meet? Very much so. And I was with the previous three also. I was ready to have a meeting, and as they themselves said, at such a time as you could have a legitimate agenda and not just have a meeting to get acquainted. Now, let me turn to an issue, if I could, for just a moment that has provoked a storm of controversy. My decision to visit the war cemetery at Bitburg and my decision on the state visit to Germany not to visit the site of the concentration camp at Dachau. It is to cement the 40 years of friendship between a free Germany and the United States, between the German people and the American people, that Chancellor Kohl and I agreed together to lay a wreath at the cemetery for the German war dead. That's why I accepted the invitation to Bitburg, and that's why I'm going to Bitburg. As for the decision not to go to Dachau, one of the sites of the great moral obscenity of that era, it was taken because of my mistaken impression that such a visit was outside the official agenda. Chancellor Kohl's recent letter to me, however, has made it plain that my invitation to visit a concentration camp was indeed a part of his planned itinerary. So I have now accepted that invitation, and my staff is in Germany exploring a site that will fit into our schedule there. I have just come from the cemetery where German war dead lay at rest. No one could visit there without deep and conflicting emotions. I felt great sadness that history could be filled with such waste, destruction, and evil. But my heart was also lifted by the knowledge that from the ashes has come hope, and that from the terrors of the past we have built 40 years of peace, freedom, and reconciliation among our nations. This visit has stirred many emotions in the American and German people too. I've received many letters since first deciding to come to Bitburg Cemetery. Some supportive, others deeply concerned and questioning, and others opposed. Some old wounds have been reopened, and this I regret very much, because this should be a time of healing. 22 years ago, President John F. Kennedy went to the Berlin Wall and proclaimed that he too was a Berliner. Well, today, freedom-loving people around the world must say, I am a Berliner. I am a Jew in a world still threatened by anti-Semitism. I am an Afghan, and I am a prisoner of the Gulag. I am a refugee in a crowded boat foundering off the coast of Vietnam. I am a Laotian, a Cambodian, a Cuban, and a Mosquito Indian in Nicaragua. I, too, am a potential victim of totalitarianism. The one lesson of World War II, the one lesson of Nazism, is that freedom must always be stronger than totalitarianism, and that good must always be stronger than evil.